Alright, TK1636.
TI69937.
And today I got another commission. This one's for a tie pilot. So somebody sent me a tie pilot and I'm going to put that together. I'm going to discuss the parts, the plastic parts, and then how we're going to put it together. And then we can go over, I think there's other videos where we went over the flight suit and the gloves and the belt, the boots, code cylinder, or not code cylinders, what are they called?
Yeah,
code cylinders, and then just the helmet stuff. So this one's just concentrate just on this armor. So basically I have to cut off all the flashing of the armor. I don't have to do too much of a return edge because it's just two pieces put together, so I don't need a lot of return edge. So I'll be cutting these, and then we have the rectangles, and this part is for the shoulder bridges. So just like the Stormtrooper, so this is basically just like the Stormtrooper armor, but the two pieces that we're missing for the back plate is the O and then the two I's, so O11 or whatever you want to call it. And then in the chest here, it's just like a Stormtrooper chest, but there's this big flat block on here, and that's so that you can put the tie box, the breathing box, or whatever you want to call it. So this is the same. So this is not necessarily a Stormtrooper, but it could be like a TX. So this is the Shadow Trooper. So you got the shoulder strap.
Shoulder strap.
And then we have the rectangles that go to hide where once we bolt them together. Go ahead and hold that. Once we bolt them together, it's going to look kind of ugly, I guess. So they have a shoulder strap part here that goes in between there. It's going to be a Chicago screw. And what a lot of people do. Do you remember the name of the guy that sells? I think it's Targ sells the rubber ones.
Correct.
So since we don't have those, we have the plastic ones. I have some seatbelt type of material here, and where I do the rivets. Not the rivets. The
Chicago screws.
Chicago screws. When I put them through, this piece is going to be on the other side, the inside part of the shoulder strap, and what it's doing is all the weight is going to be held on by this for these two to come together, not the plastic piece, because if it was just the plastic piece, it would end up breaking over time. And it still might break over time because the plastic in the Stormtrooper is the weakest link, but in the Stormtrooper it's only connected up front, glued up front. This one is going to be not necessarily glued, it'll be screwed in the front and the back. So we need something in the middle, and you can use just about anything. I just happen to have a lot of this material, and then it's black, so it's perfect, and that'll help keep the strength so that you don't break these. It still could break, but hopefully it'll keep it from breaking. Then we have the chest box. So this is the back, and then this is the bottom part. This is the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end up putting two screw holes. I'm going to make wing nuts, and then in here I'm going to do two more screw holes. I'm sorry, in the front. Good pointing out. I'm going to put two more screw holes, and I'm going to cut a little box in there, and then I'm going to cut a little box in here. That way, I can actually know. Let me check. I can't remember if I cut it in here or not. So no. So I didn't cut a hole in this one. I just cut a hole in my box. And what that does is you have these screws come out and they just screw in. You screw it in from the back. If you put any electronics into the chest, like my Targ one, then you'll be able to change the batteries out because you'll have it cut out in the back here, and you can reach in here, change out the batteries. If you have fans, anything that's in the box here, you can get to with the hole. So those are those. And let me see that. So I have an extra one here. And you can kind of see, I've just cut it out, but I still have to sand them flat. There's different methods. Different people make it a little bit different. Some armors, you put it together like this. Some armors, they go half and half. So this is one piece, this is one piece, and then they come together. This one, what I'm basically going to do is we're going to put a piece of plastic here and here, another one here, here, and then either one probably just one in the center because I got to cut holes on both sides for the tubes. This one's going to go in here for the tube, and then this one's going to go here for the sprocket. Let me see that sprocket. Oops. So it'll basically go in there, and then this will glue onto the sprocket, paint it gray, and then this one will just go in here. Once we have it in there, we'll cut a hole, and then that's where your tube goes in. Some people, the Targ one that I got, it actually has magnets. So he has like a PVC pipe in there, and then these ends go into the PVC pipe, and then he has a metal glued into the PVC pipe, and then he has like a metal and then a magnet on the other end of the hose, and when you put it in, it just clicks in, so you can take it out and then it goes in, so when you're moving around it doesn't pop out. But this one we're just going to push it in. We're not going to do any of the magnets and whatnot. And then last piece, because this one's a little bit different than the other kits, so the flat part, so again, this is the back, this is the bottom where it curves, the top is the flatter part, but it's still got a little bit of edges right here. So on this one, I was showing you the one with tubes go right here, the flat ones go here for the sprockets or the cogs, and then this little triangle or notch, or I don't know, whatever you call that, that goes on top, just like that. And then I'm going to make some, let's see, it'll be on this side, it'll be, what do you call that stuff, pinstripe. I'll put white pinstripe here, pinstripe down here, go straight across, and then I'm going to make little boxes, one white one, one gray one, and two blue ones, so there'll be 3 in one and then one on the side. But it depends on which one you do, but the one that I'm doing, simulating mine, will be the 3 with the one on the outside. And then I only have 2 for now. I have to get one more. There'll be 2 rocker switches, or whatever you want to call them. There's supposed to be 3, so there's 3 rocker switches, and then your little plastic pieces here. Then right here, actually on the left side is most people just drill out a hole and they'll put a little snap in, the male-in snap. And then on this side will be like a knurled edge, like a knob. The real ones, it's like aluminum. You can get a resin one, and you just turn it. I don't know if they use it for some kind of automotive, or I'm not automotive, some audio equipment, but it's just basically a knob that you can turn. But I'll have to get that greeble. That one I'm missing. Yeah, that's, and then the 2 switches, I almost forgot. There's 2 more switches up here. There's 2 more switches right here, and they're just little circular switches. I still got to get those too. And then, so what I do is I'll put 2 screws, or 4 screws, I'm sorry. I've got 2 right now. I'll put 4 screws, so I'll glue them in from the other side, and then when they come in right here, I'll have the holes, and then I just use like a wing nut to attach it. So right now I just have these until I get the other ones with the wing nuts. And then also, I don't have any Chicago screws, but I have these, and then I'll just use these for now, just to screw them in, so everything will be screwed in. So this will simulate for now until I get the black one. It'll simulate. That's how it's put together. So we'll go ahead and trim everything. I should have got you the. You know where the other one is at? Yeah, go ahead and get that one. So I'll go ahead and start cutting this out, trim it real quick, and then he'll help me by trimming the other stuff. Then we'll take it outside, we'll go ahead and sand it down, and then we'll put it together. The hardest part is going to be sanding these 2 flat. So I have them cut as best I can, but it's still crooked. So I'm going to have to trim those sides down as best I can. So once I do glue them together, you won't really see a line. It'll be, instead of having a huge line, I don't know if you can see that, but instead of having this huge line right here, it'll be pretty flat. I like the other one better, where the 2 halves come together, because then that line is right there. This is actually the front. That line right here, it kind of blends in with this part that comes up, and then there's also going to be a pinstripe here, so it kind of hides it. I like that one better than this one where the two front and back are together. But you just gotta put together what you get. Yep, those are good. So all I'm doing is just following the lines, and if you want to cut those out, and then this one, so we basically just want to do it to the line. Alright. So just like that all the way around. Should have had you bring out the drill bit too. We'll get it in a second. This is the easy part. The hardest part, the more time-consuming part, is just the sanding. Once you get this part down, easy sailing from here. And on targs, he puts a piece of rubber that goes around the sides, here, and on the bottom, and on the top too. You can if you want to, but just all depends on you, how you like it. In the movie, it didn't come with that. Last piece. I have, so I'm going to do just like Targ did his, borrow a little bit of his strapping. So some people will use the Velcro, they'll put Velcro in here, and then they'll glue a elastic, and then they'll just bring it in, and the Velcro will come right here, and it'll keep them both together. What Targ did is he glued just, and he used the harder Velcro stuff. I'm going to use the elastic in the front. So I'm basically just going to cut a little piece of elastic, glue it together, have this part glue in right here. So that way it can flex on me if I get bigger or whatever. So I have a piece right here on both sides. So I have those already. And then on the other side, I'll use this Velcro. And it'll be connected on here, and I'll have it a little bit longer. And that Velcro will go through the loop and then come back and Velcro on itself. So it's similar to the setup I have with the Targ one. So on these, did you already cut the other one? Where'd the other one at? The other one was. Yes. So on these right here, so we're gonna leave. See how there's just a tiny bit here?
Yeah.
And we're gonna leave more. So basically, we'll just make a circle like this. So that way we have something to glue it. So we can glue down. So what I'm going to try to do here, to make it easier to actually mount these, so I'm just basically trimming off this extra, making it a circle so it's got a flat end, and then it keeps the other end. So once I make the hole in here and it comes through, I have something where once I have that hole and I push it in, it'll go through the hole, and then this part will glue to the inside, and that'll keep it in there. That way you don't see any glue, you don't come and glue around on this side, you glue it off on the inside.
Same thing.
Yep, do the same thing here. This one, it was already done, so I just have to go with what we got. Yep. Trim this last one here. And again, I'm still just following the line. And then if, once I get out there, and I'll trim it just a little bit better. So how many TIE Fighter kits do you have?
I have one TIE Fighter, one gunner.
So with the TIE Fighter, you can, just the base kit, so the TIE Reserve, but what's, so that's a little bit higher than what's the base kit?
The reserve? No, the reserve is the minimum you can get. That's
For the TIE Pilot, but I'm saying in the black jumpsuit, what's the base, crew member, what's he called?
Yeah, crew member, bridge crew. So that's basically the belt, the gloves, the boots, and the hat. And tie in the combat.
So it's the flight suit in itself with the belt. So everything pretty much has a flight suit and a belt. That's good. And does the bridge crewman have the gloves?
Yes.
So the flight suit, the boots, the compad. Actually, does he have the compad?
I'm not sure about the compad.
I don't think he has a compad, but I could be wrong there. So boots, flight suit, gloves, belt, and then the TIE Reserve has the hat, the officer, or whatever you want to call it, hat, but the TIE Pilot doesn't. And then, let's see, what is the other one? So the crewman, the reserve pilot, the pilot, and then what were you saying the other guy was? The gunner?
The gunner, and then the Imperial Navy trooper is also with the flight suit. That's with a completely different bucket.
And oh, and that's the guy that we met at the premiere where he had
the big cheese grater.
The big,
helmet,
yeah, the big helmet. So do these real quick. And we'll be done. So we're doing the last ones.
On these, just on the side right here.
Yeah, we're just, probably would have been better to have a razor. Again, it's okay to have a little bit of plastic left over, because once we go out there, I'm going to sand it flush anyways. So we're basically building this the same way we build a stormtrooper or a shadow trooper, other than the Chicago screws. Okay, you got that? Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm not as quick as you are.
Oh, you got the drones. Can you get the garbage can over there? Yeah. Almost got it. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I changed around my rooms. I had 2 Star Wars rooms. Now I kind of put everything together. Now I have just one big Star Wars room. I still got a few things in the other room I got to bring over, but we got all my mannequins set up and then all my display cases. All right, so now we're done for now. Oh, here's garbage. So now we're going to sand all of these things, except for these two. These won't be used. They'll be used for another kit. So we got to sand all these down. When we come back in, we'll put these two together and then demonstrate how easy it is. That's like maybe 15-20 minutes to cut it all out and sand it.
Correct.